Hello and welcome then to another video. This video is going to be about reviewing the Homer DLC, giving you a bit of information about it, should I buy it, shouldn't I, and my opinion on it. So, let's begin by looking at it in shop. Obviously that's on sale, they're around the same price. This includes a header, this is the original, and this is obviously the new one. So let's get that then. And headers, are they separate? No, they are there, right. And we'll also get the header. First thing to notice is we've got an increased width by 1.5 meters, which you do feel a difference, although it's not the not the most difference in the world, but anyway, let's look at the actual forager, the beet harvester then. It does look very nice, and I've got to say it is brilliant to drive. So yeah, you got all the purveyors here. I have actually seen one of these in real life. Homer one. Takes it up there, in there, up there, through those, up there. Ooh, flying a bit too far. In there, and then it sits in the big hopper wagon, and then that can be trailed out with the arm. I think most of you probably work out how they work. Nice to have not just a plain background. But yeah, got a lot of control here, that's quite a nice feature. Yeah, let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at putting this on a header trailer. Yeah, we got the new header trailer for the header, which is a nice idea. Let's have a go at nice sounds on this, particularly the starting up. So you've got all-wheel steer and Arctic steer, so very good movability. We can fold the header up. No, we just unfolded that. There we go. We can fold the header up. Ooh. Seems to fit nicely on that header trailer. No, I'm focusing on the beat because that's my interest in terms of this DLC. But there are, of course, the Terra variant, which is kind of like a self-propelled version of the IT Runner, or similar packs. Why can't we pick this up? Okay, that's a bit strange. Let's try another vehicle. Ooh, a bit stuck there. Let's grab the 6616. Come on, over you go. There we go. Right, so let's grab this. See if we can put it on this. Nah, it's a bit unusual that it didn't go attached there. I was kind of expecting it to attach, but it's okay. We'll see if it does it with this. If it doesn't, then I'm a bit perplexed. We might have to try stick it on the Jeep, because I don't really want to have to stick it on the back of the harvester itself. Oh no, it does attach. It's probably something to do with that tractor then, rather than this. Right, we're just going to drive this around the map. The beet field is over there, but we're not going to go to that because we've already harvested most of it with the other beet harvester, which I'm going to show you later, which is the same one, but I'll show you about how it feels and things like that. So it's staying nicely on the header trailer. I think we'll just take it round and stick it on the lane down here, on the track down here, just to give a taste of how it fares on the header trailer. It's coping alright so far. There we go. That's a bit unusual. Right, we'll just stick it up here, I think. It does seem to have stayed on okay. It's a nice header trailer, this, I think, by comparison to other ones. Seems to sit on it nicely. Right. So let's see how this can drive down the road then. Got lots of controls. All seem to be pretty detailed. It's nice to have a key in the ignition rather than what we'd normally have. One thing I might suggest then is I have tried using this with keyboard, and it's not the easiest thing in the world. Well, it jumps quite a lot, which normally happen with keyboard, but especially as it's Arctic and it's very all-wheel steer as well. It can be difficult to judge things like that because it's. So it might just be down to my bad driving, but that's how I get out of here then. We'll take this down to the field. Well, we'll just take it down to the end field here. Seems to cope right on with the ruts as well, which is nice. Let's leave it on this bit of track here. Can have a proper look at it. Do believe the steps unfold. I thought they did anyway. Apparently they don't unfold. Not sure why they don't unfold, but hey. It's nice to drive, but I would suggest it'd be better with the steering wheel. Right then, so we'll look at the Terra variant. So for the Terra variant, if we go to Org Wagons, we have the grain tank, the sugar beet tank, which are both 50 grand and 60 grand near enough, and we have the muck spreader, and we have the slurry tank, and we have got the actual Terra variant itself. So it's 250 grand, which is roughly the same as a T8. So it's not too bad overall, I wouldn't say. So yeah, let's have a look at them. So looking pretty good, I'd say. It does look pretty nice. I'm not entirely sure what that's for, but I'm guessing you just tow a 3-point linkage sort of thing on it. Actually, it's to hook up this, I think. So let's hop in it. Yeah, ignore that. Right, so let's have a look at the slurry tanker first. Now, when I've done some testing of this, I've seemed to have found it can't pick up slurry in a normal way a normal tanker would. Now, I'm wondering, this isn't necessarily a problem, whether this is not necessarily a problem with the slurry tanker itself, more that the slurry transporters, which I believe this might be classified as, don't seem to register the trigger on this map. So whether it is a problem with this, I don't know. You can comment away. We'll put that there though. So that's that. I have actually seen a self-propelled muck spreader in real life, but I do know that self-propelled slurry tankers also exist, but I haven't seen one of them personally. I would say it does look pretty nice. Of course, that back door opens and then it spreads out, but or you can spread it out the bottom. But yeah, looking pretty good. I'll do sugar beet last. Now we've got the grain auger, or grain chaser bin if you like. Not too fond of these myself personally. I'm just generally not a fan of chaser bins, but I do know some people use them. I would say this could be quite useful, particularly if it's kind of a lot of combines, that sort of thing. Anyway, the one we're going to look at first is the beet tank. So we'll just have a look at it here, and then we'll have a look at it in the field when unloading the combine. So it seems to get even bigger. Not entirely sure I like that look of it open like that, but I suppose it's not a big deal. We'll fold it in and then we'll go and have a look at it in the field. Okay then, so down at the field, and one thing to notice about the beet harvester itself is that the distance between these two rows of beet here is how much it's taken to fill this one beet harvester. So if we just pop in it, and the auger out. Well, not auger, it's a conveyor, isn't it? Yeah. It does seem to fill quite quickly. See how much we're filling. So we're probably around a similar capacity as the beet harvester itself. No, we are slightly less. Okay. Not too much of a big issue. We'll go and see if we can make piles with this, but I doubt we will be able to. Oh no, we can create piles. Okay, that's useful. Obviously I have to use tip place trigger, tip heat trigger I think it's called, to do that. Now I haven't been able to show it in this video, but what happens when you are actually when you're using a trailer, Stuart trailer there, it takes 2 and a bit Stuart trailers to empty one full beet harvester. So it could be quite a while if you're interested in using the trailer, which I know I probably will, but so that kind of might be one to constantly have a man on the trailer if you're going to use a trailer method. So we'll just create a new pile. There we go. Right, so we'll leave this to one side, and we will... No. Oh no. There we go. Right, so we will actually go ahead and look at this. So you can turn on the header, which presumably turns on the... Yes, it does. Turns on the... So if I was just to run with this, it would... Yeah. There we go. So that's just the topper. So we can actually turn on the beet harvester itself by pressing B, and that'll turn that on. So as we can see, the beet goes up there, through that conveyor, up there into the main tank. Yeah. Now, one main feature that they did show from the video is the ability to have it, the back end, on crab steering kick out so that you don't ruin the crops on the other side. Now, if we actually look at how this works, it looks pretty cool when we're doing it, like so, and that is pretty cool. But I raise my header and then go back to the original one and then reselect flexible steering so that I can turn it around and then reselect it to kick out and then lower it. I don't know about you, but that seems a bit of a faff to me. So I do like it. In conclusion, I do like it. It drives very well. The extra width is very useful. Could fill a bit fast. A lot of people would say, definitely. My opinion, probably about right. You don't want the trailer. If you're on the trailer, you don't want to be waiting. This is of course fertilised as well, so that will make a bit of difference. But that's down to your opinion, how fast it fills. So far I've had 2 full loads out of this field, so whether how much you'd have had with the other one, I'm not too sure. But it is quite nice to have the full flexibility of steering as well when you turn it on the end. Missed some, oh dear. So that's quite useful. In conclusion, buy it or not? I'm personally pleased I got it, but I wouldn't go out there and save, particularly if you're gonna buy a DLC. I wouldn't buy this one. One I'd recommend if you're gonna buy one DLC, JCB DLC. Without a doubt, that adds a lot to the game. Whereas this makes the game a bit easier, a bit nicer maybe. So I wouldn't go out of your way to buy it, but if you've got a bit of surplus cash or you got present money or something like that, I would recommend it. It is nice. Maybe not as nice as some people make out, but nevertheless, I would say it's pretty nice. We've probably almost filled the trailer. No, probably about half actually, but just shows how fast that thing fills. just grab a few bits here, but yeah, not a bad DLC by any means. So yeah, make sure to like, comment and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching. Bye.